Happy New Year's and welcome to Pure Hustle Podcast. I'm Mike.
And this is Orlando, and we are actually in the new year. That's crazy.
That's amazing.
I don't know. I'm missing 2018.
Are you?
Yeah, I know it's only been 2 days, but wait, no, only a day,
Yeah.
right?
This is the new year. This is the second.
January 2.
January 2.
So, in episode 29. Or 29, right?
29.
We had a BOLO episode, and that was our episode 28.
Yeah, 28. It's like a bonus episode, but we're still going to call it episode 28. So this is episode 29. Now, what clever, interesting thing do you have for episode 29?
I don't. I think until I reach a certain number, like I got one lined up for 33. I got one lined up for, let's say, 49. I got a few, but 29.
Let me guess, 49, the 49ers?
Maybe. Anyways, here's what's interesting before we move on. As we were putting together the BOLO compilation, that compilation, I noticed like the quality of the video and the audio, right, was like different.
Yeah, I mean,
right?
This is a learning process, man. You guys are learning with us.
I know. And here's the thing. I want to thank you guys for bearing with us for the first couple episodes. That's what's tough, because when people first find our podcast, what episodes do they go to?
Yeah, they can watch the first ones.
They go to the first one, right? And so we'll have a lot on the first one, and some people go,
not my style.
Right. And then others they keep rolling on, and then we get a little better, I think.
Yeah. I think I had one episode, if you guys watch on YouTube, where the camera was out of focus.
Oh, that's right. I remember you telling me that like the day after, like,
and you were like, it's fine, nobody will notice. And yeah, people notice.
Yeah, I think it's our lowest one. I think is it episode 5 or 3? It's the
it's later in, like, this was like episode in the 20s, I think.
No. I know. This was, I think it was the global shipping one.
Really?
Yeah, because as I was going through, like halfway through, you put like this, sorry, battery ran out.
Oh, no, yeah, that was the one where the battery ran out on the camera. Yeah.
So anyways, hey, we just want to thank you guys, because as we were going through, like, there's been a lot of growth for both of us as resellers, but also on the podcast side. And again, I got to give a lot of gratitude going towards Mike, because Mike does a lot of the technical. He's the camera guy. He's the sound guy. I just show up. So
yeah, well, awesome. You're the reselling.
No, don't even just say you're the
veteran
guy that has resold longer than I have.
Yeah,
just put it there.
You're the veteran.
No, I don't even.
Compared to me, you're the veteran.
But here's the thing, and I think we talked about this. Like, the longer you do something, the less you feel you know about it.
Yeah, the Dunning-Kruger effect. Yeah, you realize, like, man, I don't know anything.
That's where I'm at. Like, I got to tell you, especially now that I'm full-time, being a full-time reseller is completely different than being a part-time reseller. I mean, you still go through the same motions, but like your focus and what's important to you changes a lot. So we'll leave that for another episode.
I like that. Yeah.
All right, so this is our update episode. Hopefully you all had a great New Year's, and we have some catching up to do.
Yeah.
It's been about 2 weeks.
It's been nice. I mean, have you had a good break? I mean, as a teacher, I love Christmas break because I get time off. Time off is amazing. And I know many people out there don't have that pleasure of having just 2 weeks off with nothing to think about. So I feel for you. I don't mean to brag too much, but it was good. What about you? How's your last couple of weeks gone for you?
Here's what's interesting. I do miss that. And I do remember one of the first times I tried to go full time like reseller. Did I ever talk about that? I did. About how I tried to experiment, see what it would be like being a full-time reseller. It was over one of those breaks. Right, it took a week, and then this was like after my first year, and it just was terrible. Right, and it was terrible because I couldn't find anything, but that's because I didn't know a lot. Right now, this time around, right, I'm doing this. I've always had a break, technically. I mean, I'm always working, but I could choose when I go on break. So I will say it was a little different. It's kind of like Christmas showed up and left. Right, where before it was kind of like you got to enjoy all that time leading up to it. Now it's like I'm out there hustling every day. And I think I kind of stopped a little bit by the 18th. But even then I was still like looking at my sales, still shipping out.
So you didn't get to just enjoy like the holiday with the families, as it were.
No, I mean, I still enjoyed it. It was good, but it was different because I keep saying this. If you want to go full time, like this has to be like what you want to do. Like, it has to be part of your lifestyle because it's going to be part of your life 24/7.
So it's all or nothing,
right?
If you want to go full time, right?
Right. Do you find that sometimes you can shut off the reselling?
Oh yeah, for sure. And that's the thing too is, and maybe it's not necessarily a good thing because, my wife and I, there's times where, we're going really hard for a few days or for like a week. And then there's times where, we both kind of take it easy for a few days or maybe even a whole week where we don't have that pressure of this is our sole income, right? So we need it.
Mhm.
And there's always like this out there future date, which there's never really a date put on, but of like, you know, in the future we'll spend more time, more energy, more, and that future is as long as it's kind of out there abstractly, you don't feel that pressure. But like if you were to say like, okay, within a month we need to be here, which we do that occasionally too. And there's definitely more momentum, I guess, when you have those kind of goals. But yeah, there's been times where I've accidentally taken a few days off of reselling hard.
See, and that's the thing. Like I only experienced maybe a couple days,
Mm.
right? It takes a lot because it has to mean I'm not going to look at my Amazon, I'm not going to look at my eBay, and it also means like you're not going to go on IG because our IG is all about reselling,
Yep.
right? So the moment we get on our Instagram, like we're in reselling mode again. So it's just a little different. So I always say this that reselling is a lifestyle ultimately. If you want to go full time, it's a lifestyle. It's who you are.
Yeah, I was actually just talking about this with my wife on our way home today. I was saying like, you know what? I don't know if we can ever get out of eBay. Like, I feel like we're in this.
The Matrix got you.
Yeah, well, because here's the thing, like we all know that you have to keep, the pipeline growing and you got to keep, investing more. And the more you invest, the more you make. I mean, we have a business bank account now, and so we're more easily able to see like, okay, we're bringing in a lot of profit. We're not losing money at this point. But we also have hundreds of items sitting in our garage that are sitting there and we need to sell. So like let's say over the next couple years we end up with a couple thousand items in our garage and then we decide, "You know what? Let's stop doing eBay." Like, what do you do with those items? Either one, you keep
That's
selling them
interesting.
for the next 10 years, randomly every night you're going out and packaging stuff, or you just kind of donate it all or like garage like have your own garage. Like, I don't know. Like, I feel like you'd be pretty stuck.
No, I mean there are people I know of people that like sold like some people decided they were done with clothing.
Mm,
So they just did a whole like big lot of clothing and they just sold it to another reseller.
mm,
Or you sell your eBay business. But you're right. I mean, because in the end, you also like knowing you have that extra income in case
yep,
you need it.
yeah.
Right.
No, it's
That's
true.
that's the comfort that reselling brings, especially when you're part time.
Mm,
Right. Because you're like, oh, before I did reselling, I was like, I don't know if I can afford this vacation. Once I started reselling, I was like, okay, how do we get there? It wasn't about we can't do it. It's like, how do we make sure this
mm,
happens? Right. It was a totally different conversation. You feel a little bit of that?
yeah,
You're like, yeah, okay. I know, and that's the thing. I think what ends up happening, and this is just my thoughts, is that you know eventually you got to decide if it's your lifestyle or not.
yeah. And that's yeah. I mean, that's it. I mean, you do need to decide that. Like, how if you're just wanting to do this, kind of low level. I think I've got a few friends who are doing that. They're selling a few items here and there, and they may or may not, catch the bug and go full force. But yeah, I think it is what you want to make of it. If you want to, um, you know, pay for a car payment every month, if you want to pay for your HBO subscription, if you want to stay home and do it full time, like you get to kind of pick where you want to be as far as how much you put into it.
Yeah, I agree. So, all right, well, let's get moving in the episode.
Cool. I think we've got like a big elephant in the room though that
What
we
is
need
that?
to address. This is New Year's. You got any New Year's
Oh,
resolutions?
you know what? I am not a fan of New Year's
I know.
resolutions.
I know most people it's
Is
such
it
a
most people aren't?
I kind of feel like it is. It's such a divisive thing. It's like there are people who are into it and then there are so many people who are like I hate it. It's the worst thing ever. Um, and I get both ideas if you kinda think, like, it's arbitrary to pick a day, any day could be the day you change your life, you know? But I don't know, there's something about, like, a fresh start that I like. So what I tend to do is I pick a word for the year.
Mike just wanted to throw in the word of the year now,
Well, this isn't, like,
like
quote
quote
of
of the
the
week, but now
episode.
it's word of the year. So hopefully it's once a year.
Yeah, well, you don't do that? You don't do something like
I'm just
that?
messing up. I'm
I don't
messing
know, I think
around.
it's a really cool idea. So instead of, like,
Okay, I
a
want to
New
hear it.
Year's resolution, which that's where I feel like people can get kinda tripped up if they, like, start at the beginning of the year and they say, like, "I'm not eating sugar for the rest of the year. I'm not doing this," and they kinda make, like that can be tough, right? Like, to because then if you get the 3 weeks into the new year, and then you mess up once, then you kinda feel like, "Well, I messed up, might as well not do it for the rest of the year." Whereas if you've got, like, a word to focus on, then all year long, you can kind of be thinking about that word.
Interesting. So I wanna know your word now.
You wanna know my word?
I do.
Discipline.
Oh,
2019, discipline.
wow. And discipline's a good thing, don't get me wrong.
Yeah, because I feel like it goes for, like, a lot of elements of my life, right? Whether it's reselling, whether it's diet, whether it's exercise, whether it's time with family, whether it's, like, professional growth, like, all of those things in your life require a certain amount of discipline. So,
No,
like,
I agree.
if my focus this year is on discipline, I think all of those goals that I might set kind of arbitrarily as, like, as my New Year's, they'll just happen.
No, and I'm big on goals. It's interesting you said that because I actually decided that I was gonna start my new year on the 26th.
Mm.
But see, I'm not a big, like, share it with everybody kind of person, right? Because I guess if I fail, I wanna fail in my loneliness. I don't know.
Yeah.
But, it was one of those things where I decided, like, I'm gonna take this reselling a little bit more serious. Now,
Mm.
I know that sounds crazy because 'cause I'm selling full time, right? And I should already be serious, but it's one of
Now
those
you're gonna
where
get more serious?
I get well, here's what it is. So, when you've been doing this for a while, you do develop the pipeline, right?
Mhm.
So, you can keep working hard, but you don't have to work as hard as you used to,
I can see
right?
that. Yeah.
Okay. Now, with Amazon FBA, I do feel like I gave it my all, right? And we'll say this for our big Q4 episode that recap Q4.
Mm.
You guys hopefully will still remember about Q4 in about 2 or 3 weeks when we release that episode. But we
That's
wanted
I think there's enough time in between, like, I feel like everybody needs a break from Q4 before we talk about Q4
Yeah, no, I
again.
agree. I think you got to let it settle in and kind
Mhm.
of actually look at the numbers because I'm still,
Decompress a little.
yeah, and I'm still making sales from items that I picked up specifically for
Mm.
Q4. And I'll talk about why I held on to a lot of items. The main reason was I didn't want to lose money. I wanted to still make a profit. So I decided to wait till January and now the sales are kicking in and I'm still making money. But the other part of it is, I gave my offer at Amazon, but it's like, okay, now what does my reselling model look like? Right? Because it was pretty easy going full time in June. And that's because I already knew what I had to do. Right. I knew that, my goal, unfortunately, my goal actually was to have about, I want to say like close to 1,000 more items in my eBay store.
Okay.
That never happened. And the reason it didn't happen is, even though I got a helper, I just kept selling more.
Right.
Right. And so
I mean, that's a good problem to
no,
have.
it was a good problem to have. I mean, it wasn't like astronomically more, but it was enough where it was hard to catch that number.
Mm.
The other part is I became more selective on what I was going to pick up.
Mm.
So, I changed my sale per item where it used to be like I was happy with about $20 to now it's about close to 40
Profit?
profit.
Ooh,
Right now,
I'm way far away from that,
yeah,
man.
but I still have a lot of bread and butter items.
Mm.
Like today I sold 2 hats and I made like $18 profit on each one.
Mm.
Okay, but I'm still okay with that. That's fine. Like I listed those hats like 2 years ago.
Mm.
I'm all right with that. The other part of it is, I knew that I was aiming for Q4, right? That's all. Like June, July even was easy because I'm aiming for Prime Day.
Mm.
All right. I wanted to make sure I had a lot of inventory for Prime Day. But then Q4, I knew I was trying to build my inventory for eBay and Amazon. And now I'm in January. And now it's like, okay, like, what do you do when your goals are too far away for
Mm.
you to make them too tangible? Right. I mean, is that right? Too tangible. Right.
Yeah, I know where you're going with that.
You know what I'm
It's
saying?
kinda
Like,
abstract if it's too far away, so you need something, like,
yeah. So,
concrete
so
right
what,
now.
what is the goal from now until June?
Mm.
Right. So I had to think about that. And I
So
had
this like a New Year's resolution goal?
kind of like that,
Alright.
but suddenly I don't want to call it that, but it was more of like, okay, I'm gonna go back to what I used to do, like ship in the morning, ship in the afternoon, make sure my metrics are where they need to be. Another one was I need to make sure everything I have is listed. I mean, these are very basic things,
Mm.
but here's what happens, and those of you who have been reselling for a long time, you end up having a bunch of inventory that you don't want to sell.
Mm.
Right? We've talked about that a
Yeah.
little bit. And B, you have a lot of inventory where like you buy it and you're kind of like, I don't know if I want to spend the time on this. And then you source other items and then that pile of things you don't want to, it's not a death pile. It's more of okay, it's a death pile, but
You know what would fix that?
we'll fix that.
A little bit of discipline.
Discipline or being broke.
Yeah, well, okay, both of those things.
Those
Right.
things would fix that.
But if you've got enough discipline, probably won't go broke.
No, I get that. And so again,
2019 discipline.
No, I get it. So it's one of those, okay, I set a number of this is how many listings I want to put up a day, and the other part of it is it's just kind of, I guess I did do these resolutions. I got caught in the, I hate saying admitting this or confessing this. I got caught in the comparison trap
Mm,
because I've been reselling for a while and I never was on Instagram.
right.
And up until I got on Instagram, I thought I was doing things right. And then I got on Instagram, I'm like, something wrong with me,
Yeah.
right? I just kept feeling that
So
over
do
and
you
over again.
so as much as Instagram has been a help to both of us as far as like learning more about selling on eBay, selling on Amazon, all the things we've learned, you would also say though that it's kind of got you caught in the I need to be performing as much as they are, even if you don't know whether the numbers and what they're
Mhm.
saying is real.
Definitely, 100%.
Mm,
I think it's more on the FBA side, on the eBay side, right?
okay. I mean that makes
Do you
sense.
I see that in the sense that, like, on eBay, it's like, okay, your 60-day total is like, impressive for people is like, 20,000, right?
Mm,
60-day total. I mean, that's nice. That's 10,000 a month. That's 120,000 a year. On FBA, it's like 100K, 200K,
mm.
250K. Oh, I made a million. You know what I mean? And
And like you've said before, you've got no idea what if that is net versus just gross.
yeah, like I know somebody that, they spend 100,000 and they make $30,000 net.
Mm,
I mean, that's still nice.
right.
Don't get me wrong, that's great. But, again, you compare yourself to that. So you're like, oh, I need to go buy more. Or,
Mhm,
maybe my margins are, maybe I need to cut my margins even lower. Maybe I need to have a
mm,
10% margin. And you start doing it, and you get into that trap. And I got into a little bit of that trap. Just
mm,
gonna be real. So I'm okay. It
yeah,
just was like, if I compared my Q4 to last Q4, last year I had no distractions.
mm,
And last year, I think I was a little more strategic
mm.
as far as in my purchases.
I mean, that's good advice. I feel like for me, for listeners out there is, as great as Instagram and social media can be for gaining tips and encouragement and knowledge and all of those things, um, you need to know yourself, understand the products you're buying, understand how the, sending it in works and not get caught up in the rat race almost as it were of I need to compete with these people because then you can start to get, a little sloppy with what you're buying and like you said, your profit margins might not be there. You might overspend or overreach and that's good advice. So I guess know your craft and you do you. Don't worry about what
100%.
other people are
Yes.
doing.
Agreed. Because only you know how much money you need to make to pay bills. Only you know how much money you need to make, to, let's say, take your family on vacation. Only you know. Right. So don't worry about other people's numbers. Just focus on your own. And I'm preaching to myself.
Yeah, no, that's good. And then also too is you don't know what the other person like maybe it's easy I think to say like, hey, the person who has $250,000 that they've made on Amazon, you know, a big chunk of that is probably not net or, maybe who knows if they're even making money on that or,
Mhm.
but let's say they are, like, let's say they've got products that they're getting incredible return on investment.
Oh,
They're
there's
making a
some
ton of
people that
money.
made lots of money this Q4.
Yeah, so there are those out there who are doing that great, but then the other thing is too, is you don't know the rest of their story, right? Like how much time away from their family are they giving
Mhm.
up? Are they making sacrifices you're just not willing to make, right? So like yourself better than you can know somebody else's story in life. So you can't compare yourself with somebody else because if you're giving up too much family time. If you're giving up too much money out of other things that maybe you shouldn't be spending for, buying more inventory if you need it for. So don't compare yourself with other people. Like take good stock of yourself, understand where you're at,
Mhm.
and then go from there.
Yeah, 100% agree.
That's good
Well,
stuff, man.
there you go. Hey, just gotta be real, right?
You got to be real and relevant.
And reselling. All right. So, do you still see some Q4 numbers rolling in, or did things die out for you?
Um, Things are slowing down a little bit. I'm assuming they're gonna pick back up here. No, I can't even say they're slowing down. They're good. I think it was just shocking that I got so many sales on Christmas.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I had 7 sales on Christmas.
nice.
That was bizarre. Like we thought for sure it was gonna be dead, dead, dead. Next thing you know, it's just like cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. And I'm thinking like, who's buying? Like maybe they like opened up all their presents and didn't get what they were looking for, and they're like, that's it. I'm going on eBay and buying it.
And you never thought you'd be happy to work on Christmas.
Yeah, it was great. Well, and the nice thing too is, we didn't obviously have to ship it out because all of the post offices are closed and stuff. So
Oh, yeah.
we, just packed it up in the morning, sent it out the next day. But man, it was a good feeling. What about
Nice.
you? Did you sell a bunch on Christmas?
Yeah, I did. I was a little shocked myself in the sense that I have already said this, like, I let eBay die. And I'll talk about this in our Q4 recap, but, I'm still getting sales, but not anywhere near what I remember last year.
Mm,
But yeah, I had some decent sales. I made a few $100s and I was happy with that. The one thing that I that I didn't like seeing is here's the difference between part-time, full-time, especially when you're doing eBay. I mean, eBay, Amazon, is that last year I had some returns. Oh, this year it's a whole nother level.
mm,
I mean, we're talking about like several returns a day,
oof.
and I was a little shocked. Like, I know it's a cost of business, and I'm a little callous to it, but some of the things I was just like, wow, like people are returning this. Are you
Mm.
serious? And so I don't know. It was a little off-putting.
And I think too, part of it is I think there's the misunderstanding, especially with Amazon FBA. Um, People have this mindset of like it's a big box corporation, so it's not going to hurt them to like take in a return. Like just like I feel like people usually don't feel bad returning stuff to Walmart, right, or
Mhm.
Target, because it's like
I feel terrible.
Walmart is not
Don't
going to
you feel
hurt.
bad? Aren't you like, I'm hurting Target and Walmart?
Never, never worry about it, right? Like
No, I
you
know,
try
I
something,
know.
it doesn't
It's more
fit.
like you're
Something,
sticking it to them when you do a
yeah, you
return.
return. I mean, it's not a big deal. Now, if it was a little mom and pop shop that you
Oh,
bought
yeah.
something
Oh, yeah,
from, and it
100%.
probably gonna eat the cost of it, like, "Oh, it doesn't really fit right," or there was a little, it's a little tiny place, I don't really wanna return it because I think it's the same thing with it like, eBay, I don't get as many requests for returns as you probably get on Amazon because people don't realize that you're just a
There's no
guy.
soul in Amazon.
Yeah, you're just a guy
You're
in
not even a guy, you're
a house.
Amazon.
Yeah, they don't know that. They don't know that you're a
But
person,
see, and
a
that
real
that's
person with feelings.
but that's one of the things I did notice, like, in the sense that, think about it, like, I'm sure some of the returns I got was because somebody goes, "What? I paid $100 and this was only $30 in the store," right?
Yep.
Like, they probably showed up on December 26th, and they went shopping at Target or Walmart, and
Mm,
they're like, "Wait a second. I'm gonna go return this." I mean, and it's so easy to return,
yep.
right? The moment on Amazon, when you send a return, the moment it gets scanned at the UPS store, wherever you send it through, it's
Mm.
like within an hour or a day, you get your money back.
And I bet you there's people too who I mean, I don't know exactly how this would work, but I'm sure there's people who buy it for the expensive amount on eBay or Amazon, in order to get it under the tree for their kid. The kid opens it, plays with it, and
Are you
then
suggesting they do a switcheroo?
yeah. And then a couple days
Wow.
later, they go to Walmart and then wait till it's
Wow.
back in stock.
If any of you do that, hit us on the DMs. Let us know on Instagram. Let us know because I really would love to know because that is, or even in the comments below on this YouTube, share us your story. I'd love to know. I've never that. Wow.
I'm just assuming there's people who do that, right?
I mean, I guess you can,
Bec
especially if your kid's a certain age. You could probably do that until your kid's 13.
You could do it till they're later. Just they
Switch the video game out.
no, like, let them play with the expensive one. Once the Walmart one comes in, then they just return the Walmart one to you. They get the full price back, and it's like they just layawayed. I don't know. It's like a reverse. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yeah, I
Like,
know. You go to Walmart, you buy the new one for cheap, and then you just return to Amazon
yeah,
and you're good.
yeah.
Wow.
I bet you it
See,
happens all the time.
well, that's the thing because a lot of the stuff I got returned were some of my higher price items,
Mhm.
right? That people really wanted. They wanted that hot toy, they couldn't find it, and I'm like, that's what must be happening, right? It's a little, and I get it. On eBay, no one goes, I saw that Rain Spooner for cheaper at Walmart. I'm gonna go return it and get that Rain Spooner shirt. Like that doesn't happen.
Guess what?
What's up?
I got a rain spinner
You found the Rain Spooner?
today.
Was it a nice rain spooner? Like, or is it
It's
just
got
a,
cars on it.
oh, that's good.
Yeah. Like, okay, here's kind of a funny story. So my car has like a Bluetooth, you know, radio in there. And so when you get in the car and start the car on, it for whatever reason it'll automatically start playing something on the
Let's
phone.
start playing our podcast.
So my wife's phone, for whatever reason, is, like, stuck on our podcast on
Oh,
the
it
episode,
is.
yeah,
Oh, I was just messing
on the
around.
episode where I made the comment about me never finding a rain spooner. I said, "When I find a rain spooner, I'm gonna be like, 'I found a rain spooner.'" Well, anyways, every time she starts the car, that's the part of the podcast that comes on. So when I found it,
Nice.
she's like, "Oh gosh."
Nice. How much did you pay for it?
Oh, man, that's a crazy story. Super cheap, stupid cheap.
Okay,
Like,
you gotta share with me now. Now we're I think we've caught up.
we've caught up.
Let's go to
Random.
random
Okay,
stories.
well, this wasn't gonna be my random story, but man, today was bizarre at thrift stores. I almost feel bad saying this, but, like, I went to 3 thrift stores today, and 2 of them they undercharged me, and I tried to correct them, and they were like, "Ah, don't worry about it. It's like a sale or
These
something."
weren't like that blue store, was it?
No. No, they wouldn't.
No, right?
No, it
We
wasn't
all know what
them.
we're talking about.
Yeah, it wasn't
The
the
blue
blue
store
store.
with the face that winks?
Yeah, it wasn't that one.
Okay.
Uh, though they did, m give me an item that didn't have a price on it for a very good price, which I was happy about
You
that.
you weren't in my
No,
parts,
no,
were
no, no,
you?
no,
Okay.
no, no, no. But yeah, so 2 thrift stores today, like, way undercharged me, and I, like, even asked because I always feel bad about that. Like, I'll never, like, if a cashier, like, forgets to ring something up, I'm gonna tell them, like, "Hey, you forgot to ring that up." I'm not the guy that's just like, "Well, too bad for them." Now, if I get
'Cause we're
home,
pure hustle.
yeah, it's gotta be pure. Um, I mean, it just I
Yeah.
wouldn't be able to sleep at night. But anyway,
Okay.
so I told them, I was like, "Hey, uh, like, I think these were, like, supposed to, like, individual or, like, you mark this," and both places, like, not even like, "Oh, I messed up," like, "Oh, wink, wink, I messed up, I'm sorry." It was just like, "Oh, it's okay, don't worry about it." And I was like, "Are you sure?"
Nice.
"Yeah." So anyways, I got the Rain Spooner shirt, like a Nike shirt, um, a space heater for my office because I need one,
Oh.
and some amazing dishes that my wife picked up, which were probably gonna net us a couple $100.
You like dishes, don't you?
Hey, we did pretty good on 'em.
Like, you had those what are those? Is this
Spode.
yeah, Mike, is that one of your bolos or hustles? This
Mm-mm,
okay.
nope.
So, Mike hasn't talked about this a lot, but he talked about it a little bit, I
Uh-huh.
think a few episodes ago, but you've done really well on those.
Yeah,
Like, I
sold them
just
all.
saw a whole set.
Yeah,
So
for
tell me
$100, that was great.
okay, well, here's the funny thing. So, actually, Mike and I and his wife and my kids and his kids, we went to dinner tonight. So, Mike asked me, "Oh, how's thrift stores been?" I just tell him it's been because for me, it's been terrible. Like, everybody's talking about donations, and so I'm going and I'm finding nothing. Mike said nothing at dinner. Nothing.
I didn't wanna rub it
I think he
in.
was just waiting for the podcast to just unload right now.
Yeah, so, anyways, I picked up all those dishes, which are probably gonna net us a couple $100. Each dish was marked at, like, $3 each, and the lady just I think so I walked out of that thrift store, I think I paid $8, and
Nice.
I got, like, 3 shirts, a space heater, and a bunch of dishes.
That's just awesome.
It was pretty good. So, yeah.
Okay, wait, the rain spooner though,
Yeah, it's a rain spinner.
is that
That
part
was
of the
one
eight
of that was
dollars?
part of the $8. Yeah.
It wasn't new tags, was it?
No,
Okay,
that
that would
would've
have
been
upped the ante even
yeah.
more. That is awesome.
Yeah, it was a good feeling. It's
Wow. Okay, well, good for you.
hopefully that happens more often. I'd like to get the cashiers that say, "Don't worry about it."
Well, I don't. I got to tell you, it was weird. Okay, so not every thrift store has been terrible. I mean, I just I don't know. Maybe you guys have heard the same. Comment below if you haven't. Anyways, you know what? Let's do this. If you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, make sure you subscribe to us. We are Pure Hustle Podcast. Hit that little bell to get notifications.
Yes. Thumbs
And
up the episode,
oh, it'd be awesome. And if you don't like the episode, still thumbs up the episode.
and then send us a private email or call us, and we'll fix whatever problem we have.
Yeah, tell us. It's seriously, we'd love to hear. What we can improve. We're always about constructive criticism.
That's right.
There you go. So, and then hey, always feel free to give us a call on our number 619-738-1170. That's 619-738-1170. You can shoot us an email. Some of you have shot us an email. Actually, one of our hustles of the week comes from an email today. We are purehustlepodcast@gmail.com. You can follow us on Twitter, Pure Hustle Cast. You can follow us on Facebook, Pure Hustle Podcast. Am I missing something here?
I don't think so.
Oh, yeah. Hey, and by the way, thank you again for those of you that continue writing reviews of our podcast. It's definitely helping.
Yes, you guys are awesome.
It goes a long ways, and we have some things planned for this upcoming year that we're not ready to unveil yet. And Mike and I still have to have his I don't know pseudo big business meeting about what direction we're taking with the podcast. But we have some things in effect. We still have that meetup we're still working on. Do you remember we're having a meetup?
I do, yeah.
Okay.
And then if you guys have, ideas, suggestions on what the future of the podcast should look like, uh, and the suggestion is something besides an episode every day, because I don't think we can do that. That's a great suggestion. I
Hey,
appreciate a few of you guys
if
saying
we get
that.
sponsored where this could be our life,
Oh,
I
yeah,
would
that'd be
do it.
great.
I mean, I love reselling, but I think I could handle talking to you 2 hours a day.
Yeah, that'd be alright.
We could do that.
We could do it.
There's some people, there's some there's a radio show I listen to that it's like I think they go 5 hours like this.
Holy cow.
It's like no, not 5, 4.
We'd have to start talking about things besides just reselling, though.
No, no, I get that. I
We'd have
get
to
that.
talk about, like, movies and, like, the weather.
No, that the weather? Who would listen to the weather?
I don't know.
I don't know.
5 hours every day. You gotta
I'm sure we got plenty to share. Anyways, with all that being said, appreciate your support. Continue supporting us. We're just so thankful for all of you. Thank you for all the encouragement you keep sending us on the DMs, in the comments, in the emails, on the phone calls. It's well appreciated. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, do you got a random story for me?
Yeah, it's kind of it's not like random story. It's kind of like a find I had at a thrift store, but it's not hustle of the week.
So it's not like hustle of the week category level, but it's still pretty decent? Is what you're
Yeah.
saying?
I mean, I shared this on the IG the other day. But it was last I found I the first thing I found was these two huge Winnie the Pooh bears. Okay, which I'm not a big fan of plush life.
Mm.
I still will sell plush if I find it. But the reason I'm not a big fan of plush life is because it's very rare that you'll find a plush life, plush life, a plush
Flush
a
life.
flush life that you'll make, let's say more than $20 or $30,
Mm.
right? And I think you had one of those, right? At one point you were talking about it last episode or 2 episodes ago. So I did find these two Winnie the Poohs, but that wasn't the end of it. So I posted it on IG, but I didn't post my other find. Here's the weird thing. So I had been going through to the same thrift store probably 4 or 5 days in a row. Absolutely nothing. Like, not that there wasn't anything I couldn't make money on, but again, remember, I'm changing my average selling price. So I'm there and I found these plush bears, these Winnie the Pooh bears, which are again nice. I paid $7 for each, and I'm hoping that each of them will sell for $60 to $70 each. So that's nice. That's a nice ROI. And then right when I'm about to leave, I noticed they put another glass case on the side of the counter.
Mm.
And it just caught my eye, right? Because, anything new, like, you're like, huh. Then I look, and then there's like these action figures. And I'm not a fan of action figures in the sense of, if it's a collector's item, they have to be mint for it to go for good money, right? Because, if the grade's really low, like, it could be totally not worth you picking up. So I look, and these were like weird, and they were cartoon. I still need to do more research what they were, but they were Cartoon Network, like, action figures.
Huh.
And I was like, "This is weird." Like, I've never seen these. They weren't GI Joe. They weren't Transformers or anything. And then I saw a sticker that I'm like, "These have to be money." So, in case, and most of you know this, but San Diego, every summer, what's our biggest convention we ever have?
Comic-Con.
Had the Comic Con sticker on it.
How
Had the Comic Con
nice.
exclusive sticker on it.
Have you ever been to Comic-Con?
I did.
Oh, I'm so jealous.
Here's the sad part about it. I had a hookup where I got to go for free for like 2 years in a row, and then I was like, it's too crowded." This is like 10 years ago. Now, like, you can't even buy those
No, you
tickets,
can't. Like, you're either grandfathered in, which means you can get it
which
every
I could
year.
have been grandfathered in, and I made the stupid decision not to
I've been
go.
trying for years to get tickets. It'll never happen. One day. One day it'll
I
happen.
think I got another hookup, but we'll talk off air.
Yeah.
I'm not 100% about it. Anyways, so I look and I pull this. So I'm thinking, maybe it's like $10, $12. And I'm not putting the name out there yet because I'm still deciding whether I want to sell it. And here's what happens with collectibles. What I found is whenever I talk about a collectible on air or if I put it in my eBay store, I get flooded.
Hmm.
And here's the other thing that I noticed is that then I start getting like really low offers. So I'm kind of gonna hold back a little bit on this
Mm.
one. But I looked one up. They're selling them now. Here's the thing. So should I say? Okay, there are certain stores that certain managers charge high on things,
Right.
and there's other managers in that store they don't. Well, I thought this was one of those that already got charged up.
Mm.
So I did the research. One of them, okay, there's 8 of them. 4 of them were good. One of them was selling, what not was selling, sold on eBay consistently for $160. They had a price tag of $12.99.
And this is not your hustle of the week?
No, it's not my hustle of the week.
Whoa.
And there are 4 of them. And I'm just like, so this is why it's a random story, because I had this really defeated attitude.
Mm.
Like I literally hit, I think, and those of you that follow me on Instagram, you notice like I've gone to stores and it hasn't been great. It's been okay. And this was like store number 8. It was before closing, and boom, I walk out of there with potential just on those items, $400 net profit. Right? Let's say I take a low offer for $100, I'm gonna get that profit.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's one of those I keep saying, like thrift store every day, because you never know.
Yeah.
You just never know. This store was a honey hole, and then it kind of dried up because of Halloween and the issue
Mm.
I guess we're having now in some thrift stores in San Diego. There's a shortage of employees,
Really?
and so there's not a lot of merchandise getting pushed out. That's why
Huh.
you're not seeing a lot, unless you're Mike. Mike somehow finds things. So
Sneaky. I like looking between
sneaky.
things.
So, anyways, that's my random story because again, I was about to walk out, and last second, boom, Comic Con exclusive Cartoon Network figures selling for big money.
Genius.
Nothing. I look and I did the
Right place,
research.
right time, and you can't be in the right place at the right time if you're never at that place.
True, and you got to research because
And that's not even quote of the week. That was just I just made that up.
that wasn't your quote of the week.
No.
Okay, but here's the thing: I will say research, research, research because those things. Let's say that here's the thing: if they weren't in the glass case, I'm not sure I would have looked them up.
I've almost stopped looking at stuff in the glass case because I feel like they just
Aren't
put
you
random
right?
junk in
They
there.
do. They really do, but somehow psychologically, it makes you think that it's expensive. Or am I off?
No, you're right. It does. You always wanna check, but then it's annoying because then you gotta get someone to open up the case, and they stand there and watch you as you're, like, scanning
Does
stuff,
that
like,
bother
"Could
you
you
when
please
people are
just."
like standing right there?
It doesn't it just bothers me because I feel like I'm being rushed, and I kinda wanna look at everything, and, I had to wait 3 minutes for them to come open it up, and I see somebody else walking out of the thrift store with something in their cart, and I'm like, "Oh, man, I coulda bought that
No,
if."
I know.
Ah,
Yeah, and here's the funny thing is like they lock it up. So they're locking
locked
up
up.
junk.
Oh, some of it is
No,
junk
it
too.
is.
Some of it's, like, decent stuff, and then other things I look up or I don't even need to look up everything anymore like I used to, but sometimes I just look at stuff and I'm like, "Why would they even put that in there?" Like, it's like the lowest brand shoe that you could buy, and
No,
they've got it
I
locked up
totally get it.
in this cabinet,
Yeah, I don't know.
and then they got the Allen Edmonds just sitting up on
No, that
the
happens
rack,
too. Yeah, you're right. You're 100%
It's
right.
bizarre.
It is bizarre. All right, let's get some current topics.
That's what do you got for me?
So we got a few things to talk about. Um, the first one is it's cycling through, and maybe I just heard about it because I'm new to Instagram, but I try to confirm this. I actually did speak to some Goodwill managers, and
You mean the blue store with the winky face?
yeah, that one.
Okay.
Is there a wink? Is it a winky
I
face?
don't know, something like
I
that.
think it
The
is
smiley face.
something like that. Welcome to Goodwill. Anyways, hey, you can sponsor us, Goodwill. By the way, we'll be your biggest supporters
Yeah.
as long as you keep those
You should
prices.
shop at Goodwill. Not a sponsor.
All right. So a year ago, I guess there was a flyer that was going around that was supposedly held in the back office of Goodwill, and it said to go on social media and research anything hashtag Goodwill
Mhm.
to see what resellers are buying things for and selling them for.
So resellers, stop hashtagging Goodwill. Giving away all the secrets.
Yeah. Well, okay, so there's two ways to look about that. I mean, what do you think about that? First of all,
It's genius on their part.
yeah, do you think there's validity to that though? Like, is
Yeah.
okay? So I have two counters to that. Well, number one, there is actually before I go to the counters, there's truth to that. So I don't know if I told you earlier this year, I hashtag Goodwill.
Mm.
And when I hashtag Goodwill I think it was an IG story. I don't even think it was a post. It might have been a post. They contacted one of the managers in San Diego that knew me.
Hmm.
And they basically said, "Hey, just to let you know, like people know who you are." And I'm like, "Oh no. Like this isn't good."
Mm.
Right? And then I go, "Wow, that's interesting." Like, so they are like, and it's easy because, right, if you get hashtagged, right, and
Easy
usually
to search, yeah.
easy to search or for a reason, but uh, it was interesting to me because it goes, okay, they're on social media. Like,
Mm,
and I knew that already, but that really valid. So from that point forward, I never, that was only one time. And the only reason I hashtagged anything was because I was talking about the great employees. I wasn't even talking
mm,
about what I picked up or what I sourced. I was just like, Goodwill has some of the best employees around. And I meant it. Like, there's some good people out there that work for Goodwill. Awesome people. So what ended up happening is this flyer was going around last year, and now people are talking about it again. But my counter to that is, do you know that like Goodwill in the back, they research everything on eBay?
I I'm not surprised, like, now, do I think they really research everything? No. But do I think that they are I always just imagine they've got, like, a poster board up with, like, specific name brands for, like, clothing items, and then, like, a poster board or a poster up with, like, specific things to look for. And then they're probably researching the stuff that looks really unique, because otherwise you wouldn't find the great finds that we find for as cheap as we find them. But you can tell, like, certain Goodwills, like, we were at a Salvation Army. Was it a Salvation Army? No, it was another thrift store today, and all of their name brand jeans were way marked up. Whereas we've been into other stores where, like, the expensive, female jeans of the Miss Me or the True Religion or things like that are, like, a couple dollars, right? So, I feel like some know and some don't.
No, that's true. I'll never forget the first time I came across it. I was at a Goodwill store and I just noticed like I was able to look inside there, like I just peeked
Mm,
inside there between the two doors and I saw them like typing stuff in and it was the eBay page.
mm.
And I'm like, wow, they're looking at
They're
solds.
looking it up,
Yeah,
yeah.
and I was close enough where I could tell that they were looking at solds.
We should get, like, we should talk to some Goodwill places and see if we can't do, like, a documentary, like, behind the scenes of Goodwill.
Yeah, I don't know if that's gonna happen.
Oh, we should do it. That'd be amazing.
It would be. I mean, Goodwill, we're open to it. If you want us to shoot one for you, we will shoot it for you, and we will make sure we are encouraging.
Yes.
There you go. We keep looking for them to sponsor us. Them and Target. We get them and Target to sponsor us. You know we've made it.
We've made it.
So anyway, I say that because I think there's validity to that. I think you got to be careful with that. But on the other side, like it's not like Goodwill isn't doing this because they also have their online bidding site,
Mhm.
their auction site. So this, I'm not 100% concerned. I think it's just one of those that we as resellers were always worried about.
Mhm.
Like, is the market getting too flooded? Do people know too much? Why is Goodwill upping the prices?
Yep.
Do you
No,
think? I mean, do you think there's a way that this can be combated?
I think it's just cycles. I
Okay.
really do. I feel like we're potentially in a cycle where, um, certain thrift stores are catching on certain things. But I think too, it starts to kill the vibe of thrift stores. I mean, I was actually at a Goodwill today, and I heard because they were kind of going boutique,
Oh,
and the
that word
lady, it's
boutique.
terrible.
It is terrible.
And I remember one of the customers said something to the cashier, which I'm assuming was the manager, and the cashier said, "Well, we're changing our image, and we're not just a thrift store anymore."
But
And so I feel like people are going to miss the places where they could go and get really cheap stuff, and maybe you find a treasure, maybe you don't, but, like, everything is just cheap, nothing is marked up, and so if Goodwill stops being that place, I feel like there's gonna be a hole in the market, and somewhere else, some other company is gonna fill that hole.
100% agree. And I say this all the time. I'm not sure why Goodwill misses the boat on this, but I'll say it. I mean, I've known plenty of people that have worked for Goodwill that resellers are some of their biggest
Mhm.
buyers, right? And here's the thing: I went to a store. Um, I don't know. I want to say what store, but I don't know if we've gone to the store. But there's a certain store that they keep trying to sell things for super high prices. So what's
Mhm.
happened in San Diego is some of the stores have kept to those little price tags,
Right.
and there's like one or two that still does the big price tag with the marker on it.
Mm.
You know what I'm talking about?
Right.
So this store literally had the same jacket. that I put on IG in June for $130, and it's December and it's still $130 and no one's bought it. Right. And
Do you think it's
then
like decoration for them? Like, look, we have expensive stuff in our store. We're a nice store.
we're a boutique. So I know we're being really negative with Goodwill. I'm sorry, but we gotta be real.
Hey, I mean, that's the thing too. That might be their business model. Like that might just mean that that stops being a place
Well,
where
yeah.
we go.
Well, I'm getting to, and so this is what I'm getting to. So then I went to their other rack, and they had like a fur coat, and I don't know if it was real fur, but they had some other coats, and they're like, it's like 80, 70, 100, 60, 50. I'm like, this isn't this isn't a store that's set up to help the community. Now, it's set up to help the community in the fact that Goodwill has great programs,
Mm,
they help people that, aren't able to get, different kinds of jobs. Like they're an awesome force for good.
mm,
But when they're selling in their stores, they're not trying to find those people that couldn't afford clothing in the shopping mall.
yeah. Well, I mean,
There's just no way. Like, who's gonna pay $80 for a jacket missing a button?
yeah. No, that's true. But at the same time, I kind of I feel like that is one aspect of thrift stores is the helping the community and allowing people to get cheap stuff. But I also don't like that as the only image of a thrift store because then that's where you get people who look at what we do and say like, how come you go in and buy all the nice stuffs that the people in the community that want to get it for cheap can't get it? You know what I
Yeah, no,
mean?
no, but see, the counter to that is that resellers are the ones that are buying the nice stuff because the other people wouldn't be able to buy it anyways,
Mm,
right? Who's gonna go in and drop $40 on a pair of Dr. Martens? Who's gonna drop, $50 on a starter jacket or whatever it is?
mhm,
Do you get what I'm saying?
yep.
Like it's the resellers that make that happen,
Mhm,
right? If truly those stores were mainly about like helping people on the lower end of the socioeconomic scale, then all their prices would be way lower.
mm.
But it's not. They're businesses, right? And yes, even if you're a nonprofit, you can still be a business
Other businesses.
because nonprofits still have CEOs. Nonprofits still have
Yeah, you know how much money
people.
they make?
Yeah, I know. I know. We're not going to go down that road. We're going to keep it positive. But here's the bottom line. The bottom line, the bottom line is we all as resellers have to always be doing our research
Mm.
because every thrift store has its weak spot. It does
And when you
every single
find it, it
time.
feels good. And that weak spot might only be a weak spot for a few months, maybe a year, who knows? But it could just be that the current employees don't know how to price pants, but they know how to price shoes. And then a few months later, it's different employees in there and it,
But it's
it
like Tommy.
switches.
It's like Tommy Bahama. Tommy Bahama is still like they're still like $15 at
Yeah.
Goodwill,
They think it's great.
and I'm like, I'm sorry, that trend was like 3 years ago.
Mm,
Like no one's even picking these shirts up anymore, right? So, anyways, I do want to end on this note though. I love the people I know at Goodwill.
mm,
They're great people. They're awesome people. I know a lot of the things that are implemented are coming not from them.
mm.
So they're awesome people. So all right, thank you, Goodwill.
Thank you,
Sponsor
Goodwill.
us. All right. Yeah, I want to talk about this, but I don't want to talk about this. This is actually better than the other topic I have on here. You see the other topic?
I see a few topics on here.
No, look at look at
That
the
one,
third one.
that one,
That one, the next one.
eBay
No, the
algorithm.
next one.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
let's talk about that.
Okay, well, we're not gonna get there. Okay, I want to talk about algorithms for a little
No,
bit.
wait, no, I thought we are doing this one.
No, no, no. That's for the end. That's for the end.
The end.
Everybody's like, "What are they gonna talk about?" Don't fast forward the podcast. Okay. So I gotta say, like, I've never more than now felt that in reselling, the algorithm is such a huge part of reselling. Huge. Like, in the sense that I'll give you some examples. So I talked about this. I tell me if I can't remember if I did, but I noticed in Q4, if I adjusted prices,
Mm,
like I would start getting sales again on Amazon, not just because I didn't just adjust them lower. I just adjusted them and they weren't even the bottom price, but they started selling. So my item, and some people have said it's because that warehouse is closer to where
mm.
people are trying to buy. But here's the thing with like eBay. Let me give you an example. So I sold my first St. John item. Do you know anything about St. John?
No, but I see a lot of St. John Bay, which I don't think is the
No,
same
no, no,
thing.
no. So St. John is St. John. St. John is really expensive
Mm,
clothing, ladies' clothing. And so I had this St. John's top and skirt in my store. I want to say for 4 years, 4 years, just sitting there. I even had like a female model. It was a nice picture. Like everything's good to go. Not a single, not even offer,
mm.
nothing. 3 weeks ago, actually a month ago, I picked up two St. John pieces. Really nice. One new with tags, and I'll talk about it. It's going to be part of my hustle of the week. And I listed them a week ago. And guess what sold today?
Your 4-year-old St. John?
Yeah, for 100, over $100
Hmm.
out of nowhere.
Could it be coincidence?
I don't know. I mean, I'm sure I'm not the only one that has had a certain brand and hasn't sold. And then when you find other items that brand and you list it, either that brand sells or something close to it.
Mm. Which we had this one person who was trying to buy something from us from like a ridiculously cheap price, and they were being super rude. So, anyways, I just looked at what they were selling on eBay just because I was curious because the way they were talking to me, and every single item that they listed said whatever it was, not Disney, not Warner Brothers, not, and they like had the word not
Like on their like
on the title
on the
of the
title.
item. Yeah. So maybe they had like a Disney thing they were trying to sell, so they posted a bunch of stuff with the word Disney in the title. Not
Wait,
Disney.
they said not Disney?
Uh-huh.
That doesn't
Yeah.
make
It
any
was like a
sense.
T-shirt of something or like a cartoon plush toy, and it's like something another Scooby Doo, not Disney. So when people type in Disney, that listing might still come up, even though it's technically not Disney.
That's what if anybody there knows what that's about, please comment below because I've never heard of that.
Yeah. Seems like a scammy thing to do.
It is. All
But
right.
maybe it's not. Maybe that's a really good strategy.
Maybe, don't know. Um, but have you experienced any of that? Like you start listing and then something of the same brand sells? I've had it happen it's happened to me with Allen Edmonds. It's happened to me with starter jackets.
Hmm. I don't know. I don't know if I mean, I'm definitely at a place now where I'm finding some not only just same brands, but like the exact same things that I've sold before, which that's a good feeling, right? When I go to a garage sale, like I went to a garage sale and I saw a video game, a PC video game for a chess. It was Chess Master 10th edition. Maybe that should be
Of
my
course,
bolo.
something Mike would pick up, Chessmaster 10th edition.
Well, is the second one I actually owned that and I sold it, and so then I was at a garage sale and I saw it and I was like, "Oh, I know for sure that sells on eBay," and I sold it, and it's happened with a couple of other items where it's like, "Oh, I've already sold 1 or 2 of these," and that's a good feeling,
No, that's awesome. I love that.
but I haven't, like, experienced what you're talking about. Maybe it's just because I don't have as much inventory in my, pipeline.
Okay. I'm just it just I've had it happen multiple times. Here's another one. Here's another topic. This isn't well,
I
maybe
feel like we're back to a conspiracy
no, no,
episode
we're
here.
not. This is theory. So I don't know if you saw the IG post I posted for us about the counter offers and like just letting them sit.
Yep.
Okay, so there's been other people I've talked about it. So I'm not the only one, but the latest strategy, and I started implementing this, and it's worked. Actually, worked again yesterday for me. Is somebody sends you an offer and it's really low. So lately, I've been like, I don't got time for this, and I just decline.
Mm.
But I know that doesn't help you in the algorithm. So I've heard and so I've experienced. So now what I'll do is I'll counter offer.
Mhm.
And then most of the time that person will decline, right? Or if they counter offer, what I do is nothing. I
Mm.
just let the counter offer sit there. And then what'll happen within like a day, somebody will come in and buy it full price.
Hmm.
And this has happened twice. Now, twice in the last week. It's happened actually last month. It happened to me about, I want to say 2 or 3 other times.
So either one of two things is happening here. Either one, you've really found a way to work the algorithm, or two, it's like when somebody says like, I was watching the football game and I took a drink of water out of this cup and the team scored
No,
a touchdown
wait. No, no,
and
no.
I was wearing my white socks with the hole in the toe. And so now every football game I'm gonna wear the white socks with the hole in the toe and drink out of the cup with the, you know.
It could be, but I'm telling you, there's other resellers that experience this. Somebody actually commented and said, "Hey, if you keep the offer there, what it does, it keeps you in the algorithm, like, it keeps you higher in the listing. So, it's just something I'm gonna keep doing. I mean, I've had 2 solid sales, one was for, I think, like, a $80 pair of shoes, another one was for a figure thing, a Department 56 that I sold for, like, $60, and
Mm,
I got lowballed, and it just it felt nice because there's a different way to approach it.
right.
You get what I'm saying?
Get what you're
So,
saying.
you gonna try it?
Yeah. Actually, I already have tried it.
Yeah, did it work?
Well, I was trying to tell my wife about it, and I think she, didn't let it sit. I think she declined it. I was like, "No, no, no, let it sit." Like, when they came back for, like, the 3rd one.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't hurt if it doesn't go against you if it
Yeah,
just sits. Maybe
and
there's an urgency. Maybe somebody else goes, "Hey, there's somebody, else watching it," or maybe they're able to see if there's an offer. I don't know.
I don't know, I buy a lot of stuff on eBay now, and I can never tell whether somebody's got an offer on an item.
Hmm,
So
okay.
it's got if it is a thing, it's gotta be an algorithm back end thing for sure.
If there was, wouldn't that be awesome if eBay did something like that? Like, as soon as somebody sends an offer, there's a counter offer, like, it sends an email out to everybody else
Or
saying,
it shows on the item, like, current offer pending or something like that.
yeah, and somebody can come in and offer, like, a few more dollars.
Yep.
"Oh, yeah, by the way, send offers."
Are you using it? I haven't used it.
Oh, the hack? No. Like, well, I'm still, like, eBay, if you're listening to us, we just wanna know what happened to send the offers and full payment.
Mm,
Remember we talked about that,
I do.
right? Those of you listening, you know what we're talking about. I just wonder what happened to that. We went through the whole Q4 and it didn't happen,
Didn't happen.
unless you hacked it. And I did try the hacking and I made a couple sales, but I don't know if it was because of that.
No.
Maybe it was that hole in
Hole
sock
in the sock
scenario. Yeah,
thing? Yeah.
I think that's what it was. All right. So this next one I don't want to talk about. And again, we don't want to alarm anyone. And we're not market people. We're not stock people.
We're
But
not economists.
we are not at all. Zero.
And all
But
that being said, 100% guaranteed we're going into a
you think
recession.
so?
Oh, yeah.
No. Okay. See, I'm not going to go down that road. Maybe we have another year.
I'm not saying
Maybe
it's
we have another 5 years.
maybe, but if you think about the expansion and recession, like,
The
trend,
cycles.
right? We are on the longest expansion in our country's history, and I think a lot of it is inflated numbers that, like, a lot of things were happening with the Federal Reserve to, like, keep interest rates at certain points, and they were doing things to, like, fix a bad economy to, like, boost it and keep it going. So now there's no wiggle room when a recession hits, and it's gonna hit, man.
I don't know. I mean, I know exactly all the
It
stuff you're talking
happens.
about. I don't want to make this like an economics 101 podcast. But this is what I will say. How are we going to adapt as resellers? I know this may be a whole
Mm,
nother episode, but
that is another episode.
that is another episode. But it had me thinking, right? I actually, I started researching. I got onto Reddit. I started listening to other podcasts. Because, now as a full time reseller,
Yeah.
like this is a big deal to me.
Well, I mean, nobody's job is secure.
Yeah, but I think some are more. Like in '08, when that recession hit, I didn't even know.
Mm.
Like I mean, I knew, but I didn't feel it. Maybe I was too poor to recognize.
Maybe, or maybe you just were in that lucky position because it affected a lot of people, right?
No,
Like,
no, that I know. I have plenty of friends that lost their jobs. Their companies went under. I totally get that. But for me, like, I think I got a raise that year.
mm,
You know what I mean? And my actually my income level is even better that year, and
mm,
then the year after. So I didn't feel it as much. And I think education in certain aspects is insulated from all of that.
mm. Yep, can be any kind of government job.
Yeah. But here's the other thing I'm thinking about, like, and I hate saying this, and maybe I'm gonna lose people when I say this. Is an Amazon FBA model sustainable in a recession?
When you say Amazon FBA model, what are you talking about?
I'm talking about like selling things for more on Amazon than people can pay for them at a Walmart or at a Target. Do you know what I mean? Like, right? A lot of the money I make on FBA is because people just aren't willing to go look for the deals,
Mm.
right? They just go on Amazon, it's Prime, it's easy, they get it. So technically we're providing a service, right? We find that item, we ship it to the warehouse.
I mean, maybe I feel like part of it is a cultural shift. Um,
But it's a cultural shift of a good economy.
that's true, but I think it's one of those things that people will move backwards to an extent in
Happy New
order to
Year,
be
by the
more.
way.
Yeah, happy New Year. Um, doomsday. I think people will be I think people are gonna be frugal and more intelligent with how they're saving and I think during recessions, people save more, they spend less, which can help turn the economy around in the long term. But so yeah, so people will be wiser with their money, but I think there's certain things like getting groceries online, right? Like I don't know how many of our listeners live in a place where like that's possible because
Mhm.
not everywhere is. Even in San Diego, there's pockets where they do it and pockets where they don't. But once you start on that bandwagon, as it were, of getting your groceries delivered, it's really hard to get off of it. One, right now, it's actually saving us money, but even if we had to pay an extra, $20 a month, even if money was tight, the not having to put your kid in the car seat, drive somewhere, they don't have what you're looking for, so you gotta drive to 2 or 3 stores to get it,
I see what
and
you're saying.
I think there's enough of a convenience that people will give up, what, cable before they give up, like, stuff?
Cable, do people even have cable?
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, I still have cable.
I remember that. I worked back when the first recession hit, I worked for DirecTV, and people used to say all the time, "It doesn't matter if the economy crashes because people are still gonna keep their TV." It was, like, 2 years later that it was like, "DirecTV?
No, I
Who
get
uses
it, and
cable
I didn't have
anymore?"
cable till 2 years ago when things were better for me financially, and it's just because I wanted to use the DVR, but that's a whole nother conversation. But this is what I was thinking about was, should I be focusing more on eBay?
eBay? I think so.
The reason I say this is because the secondary market,
Mm.
right? And if a recession hits, people aren't gonna wanna go to the major retailers, they're gonna maybe look for used clothing,
Yeah, frugal living.
right? And it's interesting, we've talked about Scavenger Life, I love their podcast, and they started in '08,
Mm. During
right?
a recession.
During a recession or sometime around there. Those of you that listen to them also, that's when and that gave me hope,
Mm.
like, in the sense that, okay, if you can make it, if you could ride the recession in the secondary market, like, you'll be okay. So, but it's a different thing, right? You usually hear when the economy goes down, the first people to starve are like artists and
Mm.
musicians and so on, right? Because they're like the luxury things,
Yep.
right? But, if you're selling boots, if you're selling, certain workwear, you're certain
Mm.
things that people need, maybe it's a, I've
Mm.
also heard the other side that, like, the recession is actually better for resellers.
Yeah, I mean, I could see that, especially on, like you said, the secondary market of eBay, used items. I mean, people if people are really tightening their budget and they're really paying attention to where their money is going, and it's I could buy 1 pair of jeans new at a store right now, or I can buy 3 pairs of jeans and a pair of shoes and still have money in my pocket, right? Like,
And then on
more
top of
people will
that,
take that.
all the people offloading items because they
Oh.
can't afford that life anymore.
And here, that's the thing too. I mean, garage sales, I bet, will pick up, like, people selling their own
That's
stuff.
what I've been reading.
Yeah,
I can't 100% confirm because, again, I wasn't in reselling in '08,
yeah,
but from what I've been researching, that's some of the things I've
yeah.
been seeing.
And I'm gonna say this, like we said, we're not professionals.
No,
This
not
is
at
not
all.
economics
We're just
101.
we're just trying to figure things
Uh,
out here.
but I timing wise is everything, and some of the listeners out there may be in a place financially right now where they've built their little empire and they're starting to get a lot of money, or they're in a place where they've got a big nest egg. Um, Recessions, it's a natural part of the cycles of economies. It's always up and down, up and down. It's not a bad thing. And in fact, the largest percentage of wealth changes hands during a recession.
That is true.
So more people are brought up from lower and middle class up to upper class if they have the money available when markets crash.
Correct.
If you've
As
got
as a
buying
history
power.
guy, I can validate that.
Yeah, so if you've got buying power, if you've got capital now and the economy starts going bad, don't freak. Don't start selling your stuff. Don't sell all your stocks. Don't like
Well, I'm
that's the
not going there.
time.
We can't give
Oh
that
yeah,
advice.
I'm not saying I'm just saying like
That's what Mike would do.
in life like when a recession hits, don't freak out and just give up, that's the time to go harder because that's when money changes hands. That's when
Interesting.
wealthy people give all their money away on accident because they don't know what they're doing, and you get
But
to
if they're
become really
wealthy,
wealthy.
they know what they're doing.
Not necessarily if you made a bunch of money during an expansion because it was easy and you were in the right place at the right time.
Could be. I mean, I will say, like, I'll never forget, there was at that time, I was living in a condo, and I remember a friend of mine bought a condo, that same condo, at the height of the market in '06 for about, like, 315. And this is in San Diego,
Mm,
by the way, okay, which is ridiculous expensive. In the recession, same condo, 115.
yep. Oh, yeah, if you can look, I know you said that I can't give this advice, but buy, man. When markets crash,
I'm not gonna go there.
go there.
As Pure
If you
Hustle
can
Podcast,
if you can buy real estate, buy real estate.
these are the thoughts of what Mike will be doing on his own. We do not recommend anything for anyone.
Yeah, this is what I'm gonna do.
This is not non-legal binding.
Do we have to say that? Is that a thing?
You just gotta be careful.
Oh, man.
You never know.
Guess so.
So here's my thing. There's plenty of resellers that really did well during the last recession. And so if we do go into recession, there's still avenues to get through that recession.
Yeah,
And there's, like Mike said, there's avenues for you to end up even better after the recession. Because think about all, if you have capital stored, right, and people are trying to offload stuff, think about how much cheaper you'll be able to buy those items and flip them for later on
yeah, your
or at
buying
that
power
time.
grows exponentially.
Oh, 100%. So, you know, this is why I said it's not an alarming thing. It's just something to be aware about. And I'm saying, as an Amazon FBA seller, I think I'm going to be a little more careful.
Yeah, I think you might need to move more towards posh
Whoa,
as
wait. Okay, we went from being careful about FBA to focusing on eBay. Now you're throwing me to Posh, but
yeah,
I don't think we have time in this episode to talk about why. Maybe our next episode.
maybe.
Maybe. Anyways, hey, just something to be aware about. Don't, we're not trying to be alarmist. We're not trying to offer stock market or investment advice. We're just saying
I
be wise with the capital that you have now.
buy low, sell high.
Well, yeah, in everything.
That
That's a universal rule.
yeah,
That's good. That's
that's
good.
what I was saying with stock market.
Okay. All right. All
That's
right.
advice we
I
can
just
give.
want us to be careful. That's all. You just never know. You never know. All right. I think that covered most of our topics. I think we ended on a good note, right? We talked about recession in a positive way.
Yeah,
Okay. So I'm hoping it
make
doesn't.
lots of money.
I'm hoping that it's just,
It's gonna keep just growing. The economy's gonna keep.
no, I want like another good 2 years.
Ooh.
I want some more capital.
I feel like we're robbing Peter to pay Paul, though. I feel like
Yeah, but I want to be a real estate guy too. Like, so let's give it 2 more years. Give me enough
you want the
capital.
capital. I know. I
So
feel
then
like
I
I'm
can
at the
start
wrong
buying
end of this
properties.
too. Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like, if there's ever a time to buy properties, it's a
Are
reset.
you offering advice right now? This
No,
is not legally binding.
I'm
All
not.
right.
But I will say, friends that I know now that did real well during that recession, it's kind of like one of those things. And we'll end after this. I had a friend that I talked to a few weeks ago. He owns a construction business. And I go, "Oh man, I'm worried about you. You gonna be all right during the recession?" He goes, "Yeah, like you just got to find ways to make money during even in construction, right?" Because I know some friends that lost their businesses, but other people find different ways to make money, and it's still doable.
Yep.
So it's definitely possible. All right,
Yeah. If you're a pure hustler, you're gonna make it.
there you go. And Pure Hustle Podcast will be here for you.
That's right. And speaking of hustling, I think we got some hustles of the week.
We do. And again, I say this. I always apologize. We get a lot of hustles of the week. Mike and I just end up deciding on 3. It's not about how much money. It's not about, whether you DM'd us or you shot us an email or you called us. It's all about, we just kind of want to have a good, I got to get back to the mic. We got to have a good kind of spread, just to show different things for Hustle of the Week. And so,
Yeah, I think that's the best problem to have is for us to have so many hustles of the weeks being sent in that we couldn't even possibly get close to doing all of them. That means you guys are out there hustling and making a lot of
no,
money.
that is awesome. And by the way, make sure you hashtag Hustle of the Week if you post it on IG, because Mike and I now are making sure that we go to that hashtag and see if there's anything there.
Yeah. Put the hustle of the week and hashtag pure hustle podcast.
Yeah,
It just
tag
makes
us.
it easier. We love it.
And people are doing it, so it's great.
Yeah.
All right, you wanna go the first?
Cool. All right.
Okay.
So, um, it's Haley, right? Haley Ann.
Yes, it is.
This is like the worst thing. I'm a teacher and I read names all the time, especially at the beginning of the
Oh,
school
yeah,
year.
yeah.
And I can almost never pronounce names. And sometimes it's because the names are like a little strange, like just not familiar to me. And
Are you like a
sometimes
Michael Scott in the classroom? Is that what happens?
I think there are kids that I still don't know how to pronounce their name. And so I just like
Just don't go
point at
absurd on them.
them.
Just point at them?
Hey, you can read next. Yeah.
Okay.
It's pretty bad. I'm just kidding. I know all their names. All right. So Haley Ann, Instagram handle is at Miss Haley Ann. It's at Miss_Haley Ann.
Yeah, she was one of the first listeners that got the send offers a while
Nice.
back.
Wow.
And she actually
Good
has it.
job.
It's not a hack. She, like, has it. Why her?
Whoa.
I know. You got the
Congratulations.
inside scoop.
Yeah. Congratulations, Haley Ann. So this one's a trip. So she came across a discontinued beauty product at a garage sale for 25 cents.
25
20
cents.
But it makes sense that it was only 25 cents because it was expired back in 2009.
I know. That's like almost 10 years.
This is old. It's
It is old.
expired. I don't know if I'd feel comfortable buying something expired. I would just look at it and probably pass. Not because I wouldn't even look up whether I'd just be like, oh, it's expired and pass it. Haley Ann, smart enough, looks it up, sells it. Guess how much?
First, let's talk about what it is.
Okay. Well, it's a lash and brow tint by Rue.
Something like that.
Rue.
Something like that. Sounds classic.
ROUX. It's like a French name. Rue. Yeah. So some kind of makeup thing. Expired makeup.
Yeah.
2009, 25 cents, $150.
That's just wild.
That's crazy. That's like
150. Think about the ROI on that. 25 cents to 150.
that's $600 to a dollar.
It's just wild. No, it's awesome. I mean, this is why I love garage sales. Like, you will never find
No.
something on Amazon. Well, you might. I've bought things for $1 and sold them for 100 on Amazon before, but
Hey, and
a
that's
quarter?
that's amazing.
That's tough.
And also I think that goes to show certain things that are expired are still worth looking at, right? So
Yeah, just be careful because 2 reasons. eBay may pull your listing because, for a reason they have it set up, or they'll pull it if it's expired or it's a health and beauty product. And the other one is, what were you gonna say? Were you gonna say something?
No.
Oh, this is getting awkward right now.
Yeah. Make sure it's I mean, yeah, so you've got an expired item, it's fine. I watch a show on YouTube almost every day called Good Mythical Morning. I mentioned it to you before. I don't know if you've ever watched it. They
No.
occasionally do eBay episodes, which are
Good
great.
Mythical Morning.
Good Mythical Morning. I'm
Okay.
sure many of our listeners watch Good Mythical Morning. Anyways, they do an eBay episode occasionally, and it's not even really an eBay episode, it's just they buy and taste random foods from different decades or different, like, expired, should we bring it back or not, and they get, like, cereals that are, like, 15 years old,
It's
candy
just
bars,
scary.
sodas that are, like, 25 years old, and they're buying them on eBay, and they say the price they bought it on eBay for, and they open it up, and they eat it, and they
Huh.
talk about what it tastes like, so, clearly, there is a market for expired food and other random things on eBay.
Yeah, I would just say be careful because you never know. You get that one person that's really upset about it, and then. But that is an awesome hustle week, Haley Ann. Thank you so much for sharing that with us, and just been. Thank you for being a follower from the beginning. Like, just appreciate all your support.
Yeah.
So, nice find. All right, Mike. I probably should have had you read this one, but I'll read this one. This is a good one.
Is it?
I wish
Sure.
it was. Okay. So Dominic, his IG handle is prime_time_. Or wait, before we do that, at Miss Haley Ann, it's at Miss_Haley HLEYANN on IG. Okay, back to this hustle. Dominic, IG handle prime_time_treasure. And he actually has a YouTube channel. I think he's like I want to say neuropsychologist, but I could be wrong. On his IG, it says he's a brain doctor, and
Wow.
he has some awesome posts and some awesome videos. He talks about the psychology of buying, the psychology of selling. He has some great tips on shipping. I mean, you should check him out.
Yeah.
I would
We should
check out
have him
his
on the
channel.
show.
Yeah, I think in the near future we may be going down the road of doing some interviews. So we'll see where we go with that. But Primetime Treasure, he has some good stuff out there. So if you've never heard of him, check out his IG, check out his YouTube, subscribe. It's good stuff. Okay, you're gonna go. I wish this was me because I know Mike, so you know where I'm going with this. He picked up a major set of scores from Got Junk. Do you know the Got Junk dealers? Do you know what those are?
Uh-uh.
Like you call this number if you have a bunch of stuff you want to offload from your house.
Mm.
You call and then it says got junk on the side of the truck and they show up and
Okay. Yeah.
they like take it all out. Okay. So they're clearing out estate sales. Well, he had put an ad. Okay. Dominic from Primetime Treasure put an ad on Facebook that he was looking for partial estates. Fine. So things that people were trying to offload,
Mm.
whatever. So they contacted him and this got junk individual was storing all of the extras in a trailer, but it was getting too full.
Mm.
It was really filled up. So Dominic goes on over. He's in the trailer and he notices a bin that says magic cards.
Oh man. Like Magic the Gathering cards?
Yes.
Oh.
Mike's already salivating. All right. So he gets his bin and he asks the guy, how much? And here's the thing. He already noticed there's a bunch of sealed boxes in there.
Mm.
Which even I'm saying, are you like, oh man, like this
I'd
is
love to get my hands on some sealed magic boxes,
okay. So,
especially if they're old.
well, I think some of them were. So he goes and the guy goes, I'll sell it to you for $50. $50. Right away, he makes his money back within hours by selling one of the sets for $200. So he picks up multiple sets. Okay, this is the hustle of the week, just like the other one.
Yeah.
These are some crazy hustles of the week. I wish I had some of these hustles of the week lately. So he had his biggest sale of the year, just I think yesterday or 2 days ago. He sold the latest one. It was Magic the Gathering Mirage box with 8 factory sealed starter decks plus 289 more cards for $724.
Holy cow. That's amazing.
That is a hustle of the week.
Good job.
So, I mean, is that like, is that normal? Like if they're sealed?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of that's gonna depend on, what set they're from. That's one of the weird things, like a lot of okay, so, like, we talked about, Hustle of the Week a few weeks ago, the person with the Pokemon cards, right?
Okay.
Um, 1st edition Pokemon, 2nd edition Pokemon cards. Pokemon's big again right now, so those are worth money. One of the interesting things about Magic the Gathering is the way they roll out sets are only legal in tournament play for a certain amount of time, but there's also a type of play that people are into, one's called Modern, one's called Legacy, where you can play with cards all the way back from when it first started, right? And almost all of the really, really powerful, like, broken, stupid, powerful cards come from, like, when the game first came out.
So what decade are we talking about?
Late '90s,
Okay.
2000s, early 2000s. Yeah, if you can get your hands on some sealed cards because you don't know what's in there, right? So, it could have one of those cards you're looking for that to buy just the card, you're gonna spend $400, $500 for the card, but it might have been a relatively common card in the boxes from,
Really?
'96 or
It's like a
'98, yeah.
bolo right now.
Yeah. Keep an eye out on I mean, if you're finding sealed stuff, and you're probably looking it up anyways, but
No, I know.
yeah.
Wow. Well, hey, Dominic, awesome find. Thanks for sharing with us. I mean, what a find. So again, that's Dominic at prime_time_treasure on IG. And he has his YouTube channel, Prime Time Treasure. Go check it out. It's good stuff.
Love it. All right. Cool. So I've got one here. So Thomas, whose Instagram handle is at thrifty couple for you.
And he actually emailed us.
Nice.
Isn't that awesome?
Thanks for
Thank
the
you.
email.
I know some of you have emailed us. We haven't gotten back to you. We're working on it. Just we took a little break, so we're getting back to the emails.
Hey, it was, Christmas time and
I know. I just feel bad. I mean, it beats, when I was an administrator, I would get like several hundred a day. And I got callous to ignoring them.
Mm.
But now
Oh,
that,
is that why you never answered my emails when I had an issue? And I'm just kidding.
I just thought
Well,
Mike
on to
could just
always
handle
answer my
things.
emails.
I know I did, at least within 24 hours.
Yeah.
But I feel bad when we have our listeners email us and we can't get back to them. So we're working on it. Okay.
Cool. So, thrifty couple for you. So was out and about looking for stuff and found a new but open box that said caller ID globe. Okay, so he's looking them up to kind of see. I mean,
You know what it
it's
is? It's a caller ID.
yeah,
The
caller
globe.
ID
Okay.
globe. Um, so he's looking it up and it's got the packaging like it's open, it's not sealed, but it's got all the original packaging in it, and when you have an item like that, it's good, and so he's like, "Hey,
Mhm.
it's packaged, it looks nice." So he spends a little bit more time researching it, and everything's in there, it's got all of the packaging, and he's seeing that comps are going for, like, 35 to $99. Like, "Hey, pretty
Not
good, it's
bad.
got all of the stuff," and so he picks it up for 4.99, just under $5. If you're getting 35 to $99 off it, that's a good deal.
That is a really good deal.
That's some good ROI.
That's still, yeah, that's great ROI,
That's
but it
great
doesn't
ROI.
end
It
there.
does not end there. So, he puts it up for kind of like we've talked in the past, like, if there's not comps, and there were comps, but not all with the box and packaging like his had. So he went high, and just to see how people would react to it, he ends up selling it for $160 plus
Insane.
shipping in
And
12
in
hours.
12 hours.
12 hours.
But you know what? I see that stuff all the time. Like, I'll never forget, a couple days ago, I was at Target, doing some RA, and I saw an older gentleman, like, picking up, like, caller ID, and I'm like, "I didn't know that people still bought this stuff." But they do.
It's vintage.
It's vintage, and if it's what you know,
Yeah,
like, why not, you know? Wow, 12 hours for 100. I have sold on Amazon, I've sold some for 50 to $80.
really.
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
So my BOLO for this week is gonna be caller IDs.
And there you go, you got off easy. So, and here's the thing what I like is that even though comps were much lower, he figured that with the original packaging, he could get a lot more, and he did. Like you just said, he aimed high, and he got that offer, and he sold it for good
Yeah,
money.
and sometimes I mean, sometimes it's like having the packaging, having something unique that others don't have, and we've also talked about just the concept of having a higher price could drive people to your item just because in their mind, they're thinking, "Higher price, better item."
Mhm. Value perspective. It's a big deal. So, all right, thank you guys for your hustles of the week. Miss Haley Ann, Primetime Treasure, and Thrifty Couple for You, Thomas. Just awesome hustle week. And by the way, always hashtag hustle of the week, on Twitter or on Instagram. You can always call us 619-738-1170. Email us, purehustlepodcast@gmail.com. Maybe even in the comments. We've had people, we do have a hustle of the week that's in our comments. It just wasn't one of the ones that made it to this podcast, but we really appreciate you dropping that knowledge out there for all of us. So thank you so much. All right. So,
What about you? What was your hustle of the week? Since it wasn't your crazy, um,
Comic Con exclusive.
Comic-Con exclusive.
Well, this was a hustle of the week because it really stretched like I guess, my comfort level on what I buy.
Mm,
So, I went to the thrift store and I went to, the one with the winky face. And they had these really expensive items there. So like they had like Tory Burch, they had St. John,
mm,
Miss Sook, I think was another brand or something. Never touched these brands before. Never even thought about these brands. And the only time I would ever pick up any of these brands were because, I got them at a garage sale and they're super cheap. But then I go, you know what? I'm gonna research it because normally I would just look these. I'm like, because you know how that winky face store is at
mm,
times. It's like $100 here,
yeah.
150 here. But I actually took the time to do the research, and one of the jackets was 99.99. I'm like, yeah, right. I'm not gonna pay that. I researched it. Okay, and what made me research was the tag on it. The retail on the jacket was $695.
Ooh,
So I'm like, did I pay up for this? I go and I do the research and I find that the same item is still selling on eBay new for $400 to $500.
wow.
And then I find out that it's 50% off that day.
What? That
Yeah.
wait a minute. The
This
Winky store face around here doesn't do
No,
50%
some
off.
do.
Really?
Yeah, they do on boutique. They've done it on boutique before. Yeah.
Huh.
So, it's weird. Like, it's not it's there's no, like, cycle to it.
No, because 'cause I've asked one time and they were like, "No, in the Goodwills in LA do it, but we don't do it
They
here."
even have dollar do you know they have dollar days in LA?
That's crazy.
Right? I just saw somebody on IG the other day have, like, 8 pairs of really nice jeans, the ones we talked about, like Miss Me and all
Mm,
those, dollar day.
hmm.
Imagine what we do with that.
No, the Salvation Armies here sometimes do $2 days for clothes, but,
I
you know,
I know, I know. It's like
Salvation
it's top
Armies,
end,
man.
like, Walmart brand at times.
Yeah, but you can get a couple good gyms in there
No,
occasionally.
you could. But going back to the hustle. So, I see that one, then I find another St. John. I'm like, "Hmm, I wonder this is going for." Sure enough, this one's they're selling for 50, but it's going for about 200 or so
Hmm,
dollars on eBay. Nice. Then there's these pants, and I think it was 50 and it was 50%, so I got them for, like, I don't know, 25, 30. I can't remember exactly, and those were going for about $150. So, it's a hustle of the week for me because it's one of those things I always talk about, but sometimes you don't do what you tell
mm,
people, like, or suggest to people, and it paid off doing that. Now, I just listed a few of those items, so we'll see how that's why that one St. John
hey, if
sold.
nothing else, it got you that sale.
So maybe 4 years from now when I find more St. John and I list it, maybe these will sell.
It's an unending cycle.
There you go, you never know. But I wanna encourage you all, like, do that research, even if stuff is expensive, you never know. Like there may be a sale on it you don't know about. Maybe it's been sitting there for a while, and I can't say this happens around here, but a manager may be willing to work with you. Like you got just got to think about those
Mm,
things. So I'm gonna make several $100s off those items once they sell. I mean, all I need to do is sell one, and I'm already gonna be able to profit.
yep.
So it'll be awesome. So that was my hustle of the week.
Nice.
So St. John. I mean, most people know about it, but you know, it's not like one of those things that most people pick up.
Yep.
So, all right, that's my hustle. How about you?
It's good stuff. Um, well, I gotta give this one to my wife. We went to some thrift stores today, and, we took our son, and so she's, like, walking around with him, and I'm got, some stuff, and she found, like, this whole section that had a bunch of, like, board games and, like, some good stuff that I would normally, like, pick up, but, like, I had just hadn't got there yet, and so she's like, "Come over here quick." So, like, I'm, like, loading stuff up into a cart, and so now I've got, like, a basket. It isn't even like a push cart. We're trying to hold our son, and so we're walking into this corner, and I just see, like, a bunch of knickknacks and books, and I'm like, there's really nothing over here in this corner." So I'm like, "Let's just go, like, it's crowded over here," and she's like, "No, let's look." And I'm like, "I don't want to." So she grabbed my son, and
Mike just wasn't disciplined.
I didn't have discipline in that time, and I wanted to look at some other stuff. Anyway, she comes to me carrying this, like, mirror, like, decorated thing, and she's like, "I got something." And I'm like, "What is this?" Right? She shows me comps for the exact same one. This thing was going for like 120 bucks on eBay.
Wow.
And I'm like, "Oh, this is awesome." I don't even know. I can't remember exactly what the brand is on it. But like she saw it, looked cool, she picked it up, and that was the item that didn't have a price on it, and the Goodwill gave it to us for $3.
What was
So
it?
it's like a mirror thing that was like a decorative, it's not like a mirror, I don't know, it's like a picture with a mirror, I don't know. I'll have to show it to you.
I think that's the least descriptive hustle of the week we
Look,
could
this
do.
isn't a bolo, it's just here's what makes it a hustle. I was willing to walk away and not look at the stuff, and she's like, "No, I'm walking over there and I'm looking," and she found the best find of the day.
It's interesting though, right? When you're in a store and you're just like, "Oh, I don't want to," and
Yeah,
then you look, and then sure enough,
it's
there it
there.
is.
Or, I mean, it just makes you think every time you walk to a corner of a store, you give it a cursory glance and go, "Ah, there's nothing there worth looking at." How many times are you walking away from the hustle of the week?
Oh, that's a terrible feeling too, though.
Ugh,
I've done that, and you got to be careful because I've done it where I'll keep searching and searching and searching, and sometimes there isn't,
yep, yep,
but a lot of times there is.
sometimes there is. And speaking of which, you said I wasn't disciplined, and you know what
Oh,
they
you're
say
gonna
about
counter
discipline,
this. What did he
right?
say?
Discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment.
Oh, nice.
Quote
That's
of the
your
week.
that's your quote of the week.
Yeah,
That's a good quote of the week.
thank you.
It's always good. No, I agree. I mean, you gotta be disciplined. I don't like the word, but it's true.
You don't like the word?
Yeah, it's kinda like you know me, I'm kinda like this, no one tells me what to do. Yeah, I live by my own rules kinda guy.
Yeah, but you got self-discipline's a good thing,
No,
though.
I agree. Okay, I know that, like, and there my life has been up and down, you know?
Hmm,
When I was in a decent shape at one time, it was because of discipline.
mm,
When I finished my master's thesis, it was because of discipline. When da 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 da, I can go on and on. So yes, discipline is huge if you want to accomplish goals.
yeah.
100%.
It's that bridge.
It is that bridge. Nice quote.
Thank you.
All right, bolo, bolo. You go first. I gave my hustle. I want to hear your bolo. I
I
want to
think
hear your very descriptive bolo.
this one I think I've kind of already talked about. We just did that Bolo compilation, and I don't even remember if this was on there because I know I've talked about it in an episode before. Um, but puzzles, man. I'm telling you, sealed puzzles. Don't do the wrap or the open puzzles unless you really know for sure.
No, don't do them
But a
unless it's like
sealed
some high end one that you've never seen.
okay, so and I know that you're at a place where you're getting like $40 profit off each item, but I can't tell you how many thrift stores I walk into with sealed puzzles that sell for on eBay consistently for like 20 to $24,
Really?
and I'm picking them up for like 2 to $3.
And they're not like major brands either?
I don't know puzzle brands. I just scan them. I use the eBay app,
I
scan it.
find I find that like puzzles with cats on them. So
I don't I
and that's
almost
not a
every
bolo, by the way, but I've just noticed that.
cat puzzles. I'm telling you, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just the time. Maybe it's because it's close to Christmas time. Because my wife and I actually just did a puzzle. It was cool. We did one of those 3D, like a Harry Potter puzzle. We spent
Nice.
Christmas break doing that. It was a lot
Is
of
that like the
fun.
Costco one? You know what I'm talking
No, I
about?
don't know. They might have them at Costco. I got this one at Barnes& and Noble.
Okay,
But
okay.
but anyways, I think when people are on break, like Christmas break is a time when people kinda sit down and do some puzzles, I don't know, so maybe it's just the timing of the year, but I've sold a lot of puzzles, and so
No,
I just think it's one of those things that people kind of pass on, so maybe don't.
there's money on puzzles. No, don't get me wrong. Like on Amazon, I've sold a ton of puzzles. Now, the puzzle market isn't what it used to be. Like
Mm,
I remember last Q4, I bought a puzzle for I want to say $5 at the thrift store, and I flipped it for like $80 on Amazon in Q4.
nice.
And it was one that no one else had. So I created my own Amazon listing
Mm,
and it sold. But what I will say about Amazon about puzzles is that you got to do the research on it
mm.
though, because just picking up any puzzles, you might
No.
end up having a bunch of puzzles.
Yeah.
Because there's some puzzles right now that I've had for a long
Mm.
time.
Hey, crack them open, man. Get to solving the puzzle.
I gotta be
It's still
disciplined with my
entertainment.
puzzles. I don't know. All right, my bolo. Now mine's a little generic, but
Let's hear this very
it'll be
descriptive bolo.
no, no, no. Mock shoes. Do you know what mock looks like? The mock look on the boot.
Mm-mm.
Okay, so mock is like a slip-on,
Okay.
right? So you've seen Merrells that are just slip-ons,
Yeah.
okay, or you've seen L Beans that are
Uh-huh.
slip-ons or Solomon shoes. Okay, so those brands, if you find them in mock and you find them for less than $10, my experience has been I even if they're in like bad shape, I mean, if the sole's good, but like there's cosmetic wear, I can still sell those for at the least 30,
Hmm.
at the most for like 60 to 70.
Wow.
And even if they're like, if there's it's dirty and it's not clean, like especially now as we hit winter, like people like those mock shoes.
Huh.
So just something to think about. And there was this phase where I kept finding mocks constantly, Merrill mocks over and over again. And I remember I kept wanting to see how much I could get away with. Like,
Mm.
how about this one? This looks really bad, but the sole's okay. Sold,
Hmm.
sold, sold, sold. I think I've sold every single pair of mock shoes I've ever purchased.
It's crazy. It's like the Doc Martens that I sold that were so trashed and beat up. I thought, no way. I only bought them because I wanted to say I bought a pair of Doc Martens finally.
Yeah.
I bought them for like $3 and they still sold for like 30 and they were trashed.
Like sole is bad too.
Yeah, the whole thing, like it was coming apart.
Yeah, Doc Martens is one of those, like, people like the beat up look on
I
docs.
thought for sure someone was going to use it as like a Halloween costume. Maybe they
Maybe,
did.
maybe. But, I've sold, like, docs for, like, over $100 that were just messed up, but people like that look.
It's crazy.
So that's our double bolo today.
Boom. Mock boots, Doc Martens,
Trash Doc Martens
and cat puzzles.
and cat puzzles.
and random mirrored decorative things.
Yeah, that one, I don't know if I can't even picture what you're talking about. I mean, that could go multiple directions.
Yeah, it's fine. It was
Okay.
a good find.
Alright. By the way, we're your source for bolos
Yeah.
if you want the non-descriptive ones.
Yeah.
Anyways, okay. Hey, by the way, if you haven't had chance yet, do you know that we have compiled episodes 1 through 7, all the bolos into episode
One
28?
1 through 7? 1 through 27.
Oh, did they say 1 through 7?
I think you said 1 through 7.
1 through 27.
Mm,
Okay. And so if you're new and you're just brand new to reselling, some things that you're trying to figure out, you can go back to the episode and check it out.
no.
It's worth your time. So, all right, what are you looking forward to now?
Ah, man, I am so looking forward to this new year.
Okay, you've already said. Okay, what are you looking forward to in this new year?
Man, I don't it's just is it, man. I feel like last year was, like, kinda figuring it all out, kinda getting my feet wet with the eBay, doing this thing. I feel like this is gonna be my first year from January 1st to the end of the year of just 100% seeing what reselling is gonna be like for me, what every phase of it is. I'm gonna have things to compare it with, you see if I'm growing or not. I don't know, like, I'm excited for the whole year.
Okay. So,
Like,
what are some tangible things that we can reflect on in our next update episode?
let's see, next update episode. Uh,
Building inventory, organizing inventory, sending in an FBA box.
no, I don't know.
Okay. All right, we'll get back to you.
Everything.
Okay. So,
What are you looking forward to?
Mike ponders, I'm looking forward to building on my eBay store. I want by the next time we have an update, I want to have 200 more items listed,
Whoa.
which I think is totally
Do
doable.
you have the 200 items on hand? You just need to get them
So yeah, I had about 200 already like ready to go, I guess in the hopper or whatever on my ink frog
in the hopper.
in the
I like
hopper
that.
ready to go. And I've already been posting a lot of those, making them go live. I also have a bunch of inventory that I haven't listed yet. That's just like sitting
Mm,
that I haven't dropped off to my helper. So I want to build my eBay store. I want to get to the place where I feel like really, and I have a good number. I have over 1,000 items in my eBay store, but I would love to get to like 2,000,
mm,
right? Because full time is doable for me because I have both eBay and Amazon.
mm,
So they kind of complement each other. And, it's pretty much like I'm still able to take care of the bills and I'm still able to have capital to purchase more. But, I just want to be ready in case anything happens.
mm.
Right. And if Amazon FBA, like if it becomes a struggle, I want to be able to lean on eBay. You know what I'm saying?
I do.
Like, because what I recognized this past Q4 was that, what really got me going was eBay,
Mm,
right? And what I recognized was I was looking at like my PayPal numbers, like, it got really high at one point, then it dropped and got high. And what really made it take off were eBay sales. And the reason I say that is because a lot of the Amazon I was getting, I was just reinvesting. So, what I would need to do is actually hire a bookkeeper to break down those numbers. You get what I'm saying?
right.
So that's another part. I'm gonna give another update one is I got a ton of accounting to do.
Oof.
I'm meeting with my tax preparer in a little bit. She's not gonna be happy with me.
No.
No. I mean, I kept all my receipts, got my mileage down, but it's just I don't know. I mean, I gotta tell you, like, taxes is a just scare me.
Mm, I'm scared. I'm a little scared this year.
Well, you don't have to be scared in the sense that, like, you know, as long as you did good bookkeeping and so on, like, it's not like the government's out there to, like, ruin you if you make more money. But the other part of it is you gotta make sure you have all your deductions in place. And we're not giving tax advice, we're just saying, make sure you have your accounting together.
It's good life advice.
Yeah. But that's the other part, like, I just met with my tax preparer back in October when I filed in October. So it hasn't been too long ago, so some of the trauma of that is still with me.
Oh.
I shouldn't use words like trauma. But anyways, I'm looking forward to it because I'm also a big fan of having real raw numbers
Mm.
and being able to know what I need to aim for. Because let's say I do owe, well, I got from January until the end of March to, make that money to be able to be all good by the time taxes are due. So there you have it. Just being real.
Ugh.
So,
Taxes.
did you finalize your tangible looking forward to?
Yeah, I'm really excited for the year 2019.
Oh my goodness. See, talk about discipline and then I can't
I
hold them
mean,
accountable.
there's okay, so you want like a specific tangible thing. What am I excited about this week? We have a lot of clothing items that we want to get listed. That's kind of our death pile right now. We've got
Okay.
almost everything besides clothing. And we want to like really show Poshmark some love.
Really?
Yeah.
Like doing more sharing?
Doing more sharing, doing more listing, doing more, the whole Poshmark thing. I think this is the time where I think Poshmark slowed down a little bit in December, and I think it's about to ramp back up. So I
I
want to
love
be
to
prepared for
hear.
that.
I love to hear because you did tell me and you did share with us in the last podcast, the last update one that Poshmark kind of just
It slowed down a little bit. Yeah.
a little bit or a lot of it.
I think a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm sure it just depends person to person whether it was a lot or a little, but I really do think that it's going to pick up quite a bit here in January.
Okay.
So we'll see.
And you know what I'm also excited about is, as we move forward, like I'm looking forward to these next few months of being a full-time reseller and having to establish like legit goals.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Like
There's a lot of goal talking on this episode.
well, yeah, okay, we didn't mean it to be that way, but it is kind of, this time of year and the Q4 lends to it. So there you go.
And speaking of which, what are your reselling goals for 2019? Let us know.
Oh wow. In the comments below.
Yeah, let us know in the comments, send us a DM, um, post something on Instagram and like tag us and a few other people in it. What are your 2019 reselling goals? How much money are you gonna make? How many items are you gonna have in your store? What are you wanting to
Break
sell?
every financial information piece down in the
Yeah.
comments. I'm just
Orlando
joking.
wants
No,
tangible things
no,
that he can specifically hold you accountable for.
no, no, I'm not gonna hold anybody accountable. I need to hold myself accountable. So hey, with all that being said, we're gonna wrap up this episode. Make sure to be real,
Be relevant.
be reselling. Peace.